We are dividing up our team this week to send some athletes to Nebraska and some athletes to Manhattan. And even then, we're only sending about, I don't know, 1/3 to 1/2 of our team to either meet. And the rest of the team will be home training and resting and preparing for the Missouri Valley Championship. We're allowed to take 32 athletes to the Missouri Valley Conference Championship. So there are spots on both the men's roster and the women's roster that are still in question. So some athletes will go competing for a spot. I think we've got about 8 or 9 women competing for about the final 3 spots. And something similar to that on the men. 6 or 7 men competing for the last 2 spots. So we're going to take those athletes and let them have an opportunity to compete and try to battle their way up onto the roster for the Missouri Valley Indoor Championship. In addition to that, there's people that maybe they were hurt during the season, and so they need an opportunity to get one more race in before the conference championship because they might have missed a meet during, the indoor season is a fairly short season, and if they didn't get all the meets, then they may need to get one more race to round into shape and be ready for the Missouri Valley Championship. Maybe it's a jumper who feels like that they'd just like one more opportunity to high jump in competition before the championship meet. There's a variety of reasons. And then event area by event area. Our Pat Wilson, our pole vault coach, he really values every opportunity that those pole vaulters have to compete. So they try to compete as often as they can. But other athletes like the distance runners, they may really value a weekend off where they can rest and rest up for a optimal performance at the Missouri Valley Championship. So there's a variety of reasons. This is truly just a tune-up week for whoever needs to tune up, and a couple of competitive situations to try to see who's going to be on our roster. And boy, but right now our mindset is everyone's really gearing up for the Missouri Valley Conference meet a week from now. Jake is having a fabulous season. I'm really happy for him to be Missouri Valley Conference Athlete of the Week. He ran a beautiful couple of races up there in Ohio. We went to a great meet this past weekend, and he did a great job up there, and so I'm really happy for him. He sits 3rd in the league in the Missouri Valley Conference in the mile right now, and is also demonstrated by way of an 800 that he's run and also a 1,000 that he ran. That's one of the, I think, second all-time in our school history behind only Enar's Tuperitis.
We went up to Ohio, and it was a really competitive field in both of my races, and that 1,000 that first day was mainly just to kind of shake the body out for the mile the next day. I didn't really realize after the race how quick the time, what it really meant. Coach Hunter looked at me across the field and was like, "Nice work," and I was just like, because I got second, and so that was a little bit upsetting. I wish I could have been closer to the winner. But then when I realized, I was second all time behind Einars, and past a guy who's ran 3:41 in the 1,500, that made me pretty happy to know my fitness level could be there soon. I'll be resting this week. Won't be going to Nebraska or Manhattan. And we'll just rest up and train through the week and then get ready for a tough double at conference with the mile and the 8.